treatment of the spine, chronic pain, all joints, all musculoskeletal problems, and more, emphasizing holistic care first, with a focus on diet, sleep, stress management, and social connections for a patient's well-being. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Baseball and tailgating. This is Marie from Discount Liquor. For over 60 years, we've been part of the starting lineup that makes your tailgate an experience. With over 2,000 varieties of beer, 4,000 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines, we're your pregame headquarters. It's not a game without a tailgate, and it's not a tailgate without a stop at Discount Liquor. So before you head to the ballpark, head to Discount Liquor. 2 area locations, in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow.
Discount Liquor.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Yet another strong storm rolled through Oak Creek and South Milwaukee, causing actual damage at my house. Thankfully, I knew exactly what to do. I called my friends Jeff and Jake at Loyal Family Renovations, and Jeff came by to assess the damage. If your home has suffered storm damage, don't leave it up to the out-of-towners. Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today for a free damage inspection, and they'll help make your home remodeling dreams a reality. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
4.
You've got to work on that swing, Jack.
Well, I get time now that the business is running efficiently.
Oh, yeah? How'd you make that happen?
SVA. They showed me how to analyze my financial statements to increase revenue and profit margins and control expenses. The value of the business has never been higher. And now I've got more time to work on my golf game.
Nice. Maybe make time for lessons, too.
At SVA Certified Public Accountants, we pride ourselves in providing business owners with measurable results. Visit sva.com/golf to learn more.
Get out of here and go!
Covering the Crew all season long on WTMJ, it's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from American Family Field, here's your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
How sweet it is. Hello. What a homestand. 6-1 against the Chicago teams. They win today 6-3 over the White Sox. Fireworks at the end. Another come-from-behind victory. The bullpen was quietly huge today for the Crew. Gary Sanchez added some insurance late. A top-to-bottom win once again for the Brewers to get the job done. I'm Dominic Cotroneo. Craig Gashan's going to join us in just a little bit. We're going to go for about an hour today, just past the 5 o'clock hour, 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620, if you want to join us here on the program today. Brewers win. Freddie earns the win, even though it wasn't his prettiest start of the season. Jackson Chourio hit a homer, his 6th of the year. It was the only homer of the weekend against the White Sox. The Brewers did not need the long ball in this series, but in the end it turned out to kind of be the difference in this one. Freddie, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Herget, 2 innings plus, no hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. That was amazing. And then Enoli Paredes earned his first big league save, going 2 innings, the 8th and the 9th, inheriting 2 runners, not allowing either of those inherited runners to score, with some chaos in that 8th inning with Tommy Pham and everybody involved. We'll break down the game itself with Craig here in just a little bit, but let's just break down real quick right off the top what actually happened there with with William Contreras and Tommy Pham. Setting the stage for Christian Yelich having the clutch sac fly potential, and said it was a double play. Massive moment. So Corey Julks flies to left field. Tommy Pham, with 1 out, is tagging up from third base. Yelich makes the play. Pham at the time is the tying run. The White Sox have lost 10 games in a row coming into today. They're the worst team in baseball. They had just made a base running blunder literally 2 pitches earlier, throwing out a runner at third on a ball that barely got away from William Contreras. So they are pressing, to say the least. Yelich doesn't have the strongest throwing arm in the league. We all know that. But it's accurate. It's not the strongest, but it's accurate. It's an absolutely you go, you send, you give it a chance if you're Tommy Pham. Nothing wrong with that. Pham did an old school route, running on the grass on the base path down to the plate. Is that out of the baseline? Not technically, because you establish your own running lane and then you get the leeway from there. Remember, William Contreras has to give the plate an opportunity, at least anyway, to the plate, a lane, if you will, for the runner. Well, the runner, Tommy Pham, was trying to run in the grass toward the fair side of the plate, trying to hope that the ball would hit him. If it was a little bit offline, if like William having to go to his left to field that baseball and Yelich's throw maybe sailed on him a little bit, and it hits Tommy Pham, he's safe, and this is a tie game. However, Yeli delivered a perfect strike to the plate, one hop. William is there early to make the tag. Remember, William had already given him a route to the back side of the plate to give him a chance. You have to do that. But once you have the ball, all bets are off. You can block the plate once you have the ball. William takes the baseball, turns to his left. Tommy arrives, sliding, still on the fair side of home plate, not to that lane that William was giving him. Slides hard, totally fine with that. That is totally fine. William gets him out. That's the end of the inning. William shows him the glove, as every catcher should always do. That's the coolest, one of the rare moments where a catcher gets to show off, right? Also, young catchers, you may have noticed something here. I know contact is not allowed in Little League and in select baseball, travel baseball, high school baseball. I know contact is not allowed. But yet, it is always smart to leave your helmet on. Leave your helmet on. William receives it, is looking, is ready to receive contact, places the tag. No big deal. William gets to show it off, gets to celebrate. You're allowed to do that in baseball. Tommy Pham, he's an intense dude. He didn't like the celebration. That's okay, too. He's a very locked-in individual. The team has now lost 11 games in a row. He's trying to find an edge. Not that he needs to find an edge. He always has an edge. He's Tommy Pham. And he didn't like that William was showing the ball and tapped his chest on his way back to the dugout. Brewers largely ignored it. Tommy was trying to create something. I don't know. All in all, the play was fine. It was old school, hard-nosed baseball. I got no problem. And I think both benches understood. No need to escalate this. Tommy probably overreacted, and that's okay. We can all move on a high-quality baseball moment, because we lose the side of the fact that Christian Yelich just got his third outfield assist of the season. That was a massive moment, to say the least. Let's get to the phone lines before we get to a break. Brian and Tosa, you're live here on Brewers Extra Innings.
Hey, Dom. Great homestand. We did what we had to do. This year we didn't stumble like we did against the A's last year and got swept by the A's when they were the worst team in baseball. But this next 3 games is going to show if we're contenders or pretenders. This is the biggest test of the season. If we can go in there and take 2 out of 3, then we show we belong. If we lose 2 out of 3, we're still fine, but this will be the biggest test, so I'm just curious. And, of course, we don't have Freddie in this matchup, so it's going to be our best gauge of where we're going to rank in the hierarchy of the National League, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And this is the first chance the Brewers will have against a first-place team since seeing the Yankees back at the end of April. Now, they already took a series in Baltimore, 2 out of 3 from them. They're not in first place, as we know, but they're a solid team as well. And the only game they lost was to Corbin Burns. Quite frankly, they kind of got to him a little bit. It was late in that game that the Brewers lost. But the Yankees series, I thought, was a real punch in the mouth and really frustrating series, especially those last 2 games, because 15-3, 15-5 does not tell the whole story of how well the Brewers were playing. This is the first chance for the Brewers to say, no, this is the version that we want to be, and I think it's really important the fact that their offense is going to be coming in at mostly full strength. I know there's no Garrett Mitchell, but there hasn't been Garrett Mitchell all year. You've got Reese back, you've got Willie back, you've got Contreras back, you've got Yelich back, so they're rolling in offensively how they would like to. However, they are facing Zach Wheeler tomorrow, who has been one of the best pitchers in baseball as of late. Then they'll face a lefty, Christopher Sanchez, coming up on Tuesday, and then I believe I had seen it was going to be Aaron Nola on Wednesday, who also has been fantastic this season for the Phillies. So you're going to see their best, and the Brewers might get creative with their rotation. We'll talk about that with Craig Kashan a little bit later on in the program. Take a breather, come back with more after this, 855-616-1620 on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
In Wisconsin, bicycles are legal and intended users of the road. We remind drivers to share the road and make sure to slow down and give at least 3 feet when passing a person biking. Let's make sure everyone, no matter their mode of travel, gets home safely. Learn more at wisconsinbikefed.org.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My home is my happy place. It's happier thanks to CertaPro Painters. They painted the exterior of our house. It was quick. It was easy. You can schedule your free estimate today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's CertaPro with a C. Estimates are easy. Estimates are accurate. They clean up. CertaPro painters are the real deal. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters.
They found a quaint little home, a stone's throw away from the park. The landscaping was well kept, and the inside was clean as a whistle. But it was outdated, and being that this was their first home, they didn't have a lot of extra cash to do a big remodeling job. You see, the home's living room had a wall of mirrors. He wanted to keep them up, but she was unsure. I told her how beveling the edges of the mirrors would add a hint of elegance, while keeping the spacious look that the mirrors provided. And I asked her to visit our showroom, so I could show her exactly what I meant. Turns out she loved the look, and now, even with the new remodeling job they're doing, the beveled mirrors are there to stay. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service, and glass and mirrors have been our business for over 35 years. So if it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Well, the local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank, also knows how to hit it out of the park. They've been serving businesses in the area for nearly 15 years, offering industry-specific expertise and local decision-making capabilities to help your business succeed. It's commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. Craig Kashan joining us a little bit later here. Let me get through a few texts here as well here on this Lou Gehrig Day. This one, Gary is to the Brewers as to what P.J. Tucker was to the Bucks. If this team is successful in October, Gary will be a huge reason why. A 4-WAR player, not quite 4, but maybe if you can get a 2.5, 3-WAR player as your backup catcher, that's ridiculous. Now, he's probably going to end up right around 1 to 1.5, which still without being able to play that much is very, very valuable. Matt from La Crosse, I feel like the Brewers knocking starters out better as of late, whether it's by putting up a bunch of runs or grinding ABs to make them throw a lot of pitches, and putting up runs again against bullpens. Love to see it. I agree. When it comes to today, though, Nick Nastrini still learning how to get his footing in the big leagues. They drew a few walks from him. It took a little bit to get to him, but you look at that second inning, right? The 2-out rally that formed out of nowhere thanks to who else but Joey Ortiz. You blink and all of a sudden, you got 2 outs on 12 pitches. Then Ortiz singles on a 4-pitch AB. Then the double by Bowers was a 6-pitch AB. Gary gets hit by a pitch, and then you blink, and you got first and second, 2 outs, and Churio takes advantage of a hanging slider. And instead of it being a quick inning, getting the first 2 outs so quickly, it turns into a 4 spot on the board. And he's still learning how to get his footing. And we'll talk about the offensive approach today and as of late for the Brewers against these White Sox as they get ready for the Phillies. Josh in Milwaukee, this game had a little bit of everything. A couple of impressive defensive plays aided the Brewers, and Sanchez capped off an excellent homestand. Would it be a stretch to say that today's use sets up a bullpen game tomorrow night? You're exactly right, Josh. And now, Murph has not confirmed this. Just reading the tea leaves here a little bit today, I think Jared Koenig, I think it'll go back to kind of like what they did against Boston with the opener route, given how elite the Phillies are at the top of their order. Yes, I know Trey Turner is injured right now, but the top of this order for the Phillies is exactly the type of order that you would consider doing the opener with the lefty, right? You've got Schwarber, left-handed. You got Stott, left-handed. You got Harper, left-handed. You got Marsh, left-handed. You got Clemens, left-handed, if he's going to be in the game, right? Because they've been kind of bouncing around trying to figure out what they're doing at short and at second with Turner's absence. So this is another one, kind of like the Red Sox, with all of those lefties at the top of the order. Maybe it makes sense for Jared Koenig to get another couple opening starts here coming up over these next couple of days against the Fightin' Phils. And just to circle back on what I was saying a couple of minutes ago, just double checking the rotation right now for the Phillies. The Brewers have not officially announced their rotation, which is why I'm reading these tea leaves saying they're probably going to use a starter. Just to confirm, Zach Wheeler tomorrow, Christopher Sanchez Tuesday, Aaron Nola on Wednesday. It'll be 5:40, 3:05 first pitches right here on WTMJ. But I think you're onto something there. I think we are going to see Jared Koenig at least once, maybe twice, over this series against the Phils. Doug, the bad news White Sox help again. What is the worst record in MLB history? They have to be on their way. I believe it is the 61 Mets, if I'm not mistaken. It might be someone a lot older in older times, but I believe the modern record, modern baseball, pre-dead ball era, is the 62 Mets, the first season in franchise history. They went 40 and 120, with also a tie. So 40, 120, and 1. That was, I believe, the worst record in modern. And then also the Tigers, I believe, a few years ago had a similar story. With their, I want to say in like the early 2000s, they had something terrible. 2003, they were 43 and 19. So that's the worst in the wild card era. 43 and 119. Ugh. White Sox, not great right now. White Sox lose again today as they've lost 11 games in a row. Brewers improved to 13 games above 500, and the Phillies await next. We'll talk about that with Craig Kishon. A little bit about today's game as well with Freddie Peralta, too. After this, 855-616-1620 on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
On deck, more Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers 5-County Fridays are now Wisconsin First Fridays. Get half-price Brewers tickets for the entire state of Wisconsin at the First Friday Brewers home game every month. Come cheer on the Brewers from any corner of the Badger State and get 50% off your seats. Take advantage of this special offer and don't miss out on Friday night baseball all season. Check out the complete Brewers schedule of Wisconsin First Fridays and get your tickets now at brewers.com/Wisconsin Fridays.
In this seller's market, even homeowners are trying to sell their own home. But more times than not, it doesn't work out like they'd hoped. And while homes like theirs are selling, and selling fast for over asking prices, their homes aren't. So what's your next best strategy? Well, if you're looking to relieve yourself of the stress of selling your own home and still get top dollar while getting the full service benefits that an experienced realtor can give you, then look no further. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where 3.5 to 3.9% commission assures that you pay less for full service. Only 11% of those trying to sell their own homes actually succeed. And of those that do sell their own home, they sell on average for 26% less than agented properties. This often negates the savings they were hoping to get by doing it on their own. So why do it on your own when you have an experienced realtor that will give you full service at only 3.5 to 3.9% commission? Don't let your home sit while others are selling faster and at potentially better than asking prices. Call Benefit Realty for a highly experienced agent, and you'll pay less for full service.
Yard work, playing with the kids, getting back out on the boat, things that should be enjoyable, not painful. Vince Vetrano for Connect Chiropractic, where I've been seeing Dr. Alex Young and his team for nearly a year. My neck, back, and shoulder feeling so much better. It's not just that. Did you know regular chiropractic care can help with sciatica, vertigo, great for athletes, and all without twisting, cracking, or popping? Connect Chiro Docs use a special tool for all the adjustments so there's no discomfort. Learn more or book your first appointment now at Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
Welcome back to Brewers Extra Innings.
I'm Tom Catronio. Craig Kishon is with us now on WTMJ. Brewers win 6-3 over the White Sox. They sweep the worst team in baseball. You know, Craig, we've talked about it these last couple of weeks with the Marlins series and now this series. Like, hey, you just can't take anybody for granted, right? And at the end of the day, I think everybody would have been just fine going 4-2 against the White Sox and the Marlins. They got there 4-2 just with one series loss and one sweep. The Brewers, at the end of the day, a sweep, you can never expect it, but they did probably what was expected, or at least maybe understood was very likely to happen against this team.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get a little greedy and all that and say this is what should happen, but those are just predictions. You got to play these games out. And I was actually kind of impressed that the White Sox seemed very aggressive, at the plate all three games of this series. I mean, they jumped out to early leads. I mean, who could ask for anything more if you're sitting in their chairs right now? I mean, what's their losing streak at? 11 straight, 12 straight, something like that now. So, I mean, just the fact that they put a little early pressure on every single one of Milwaukee's starting pitchers and really had for whatever reason, Freddie's back was against the wall with almost every pitch he made in that first inning, which is nobody expected that to happen. But just the resiliency, and I think, when you're playing teams that are just they're just not good right now, and the White Sox certainly fit into that category. As a team as talented as Milwaukee, you just have to realize when it's your turn to strike, and I think throughout this whole series they found their time, and then you got to figure out a way to close things out, and then ultimately I think with what the bullpen was able to do on all three games, give this offense a chance to get going and create a comeback in all three games and the victories. So everything fell into place quite nicely.
Now, I was looking, let's talk a little bit about Freddie here. I was looking at his career splits, and today he was getting a start back on that regular starter rest, right on that every fifth day track, okay? And he's done it a few times this year because of off days and lack thereof sometimes. This was only his fourth start on the traditional every fifth day rotation. Now, the last time he did it, he was fantastic against Miami. 7 strong innings. With all due respect, that was Miami. Today, he's coming off of throwing 111 pitches, a career high, against the Cubs, turning around, day game, having to throw on that fifth day. I'm not trying to make excuses for him. I'm just identifying what's happening. And when you look back at his career splits here, Craig, he had only made in his career, coming into today was only his 25th career start on the fifth day, meaning you get 4 days of rest. The vast majority of his starts in his career, 83 of them, have come with at least 5 days rest. I know the Brewers need him to be an ace and need him to be the one and the stabilizer of this rotation. But today is a day that you kind of look and say, man, he's still adjusting to being on this traditional starter schedule.
Well, it is interesting to look, and I listened to you talk about those numbers and what he's done in his career and where this team is at right now, and it just makes me think, how much were they really considering having him open up this Phillies series tomorrow if he does go on 5 days rest instead of 4, and you just got to wonder, because right now they're going to be creative in how they're going to attack Philly hitters, because they haven't announced a pitcher for any game of this series. So, and we've seen what they've done in the past. So, there's that for sure. That just makes me start thinking a little bit, but by the same token, how important was it to finish off this series with this win, this homestand with this win, before you head out on the road, before you play a team as good as Philly is here right now? Getting this win was huge, and it also kind of plays back, if you will. Pat Murphy always saying today's the most important day. Today's game is the one you want to win, and then you worry about tomorrow. I think, we're seeing kind of a combo of all of that.
When you look at the upcoming schedule here, I talked about it in the last segment, I could see Jared Koenig getting some opener looks these next few days, given Schwarber and Stott and Harper and Marsh, all left-handed hitters at the top of this order for the Phillies. It makes sense to use him. And then the Brewers need somebody to start on Wednesday. Will it be Jansen Junk? Will they call somebody up? It's going to be maybe a bullpen day on Wednesday, because you would expect Bryce Wilson to be the bulk man tomorrow, Colin Ray to be the bulk man on Tuesday, and then it's kind of a TBD on Wednesday, not just for the opener, but for the main guy, because then you could go with the off day on Thursday, Gasser on Friday, Peralta on Saturday, and then back to your regular rotation with Wilson next Sunday. So these are the decisions that are looming for the Brewers, and why the bullpen, like you mentioned, was so massive today to have Kevin Herget and Enoli Paredes, the only guys used today. Enoli getting his first big league save, and Herget striking out 5 of the first 6 batters he faced. I know he lost it there in the 8th. I think the Brewers got a little greedy there, knowing how thin they were in the bullpen, but they held up their end of the bargain, bar none today.
Well, they really have. This whole series, what they end up pitching 13 2/3 and didn't give up any runs and barely had any base runners. So, kudos to what they were able to do. Never would have imagined we would have seen Hergert come in with the team only up 4-3 in the middle of the ball game like that. But, look, you take chances. I'm a big believer in a risk isn't a risk like everyone else says it is. A risk is something that you don't take. A risk is something that you do by decision because you know what you've got. And you understand where right now in sports where your team is here right now. And so I like what they did because I think they could do it. And I think the big thing is if it doesn't work for a stretch or, an inning or two or whatever, you still have other ways of coming back and winning and whatnot. So I think it also speaks volumes of where the strength of this team is right now and the confidence that they have in just about every single category, offensively, starting pitching, bullpen, defense, everything. So I like it. I like what we've seen this year on doing things a little unconventionally of what we're used to seeing and maybe playing a little more traditional baseball.
Let's look ahead to the Phillies and this upcoming road trip for the Brewers coming up next. Brewers get the win today over the White Sox. They really dominate the whole Chicago series here. 3 out of 4 from the Cubs, 3 out of 3 from the White Sox. A 6-1 homestand, good vibes, and a happy flight off to Philly. That's up next on 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here from Wisconsin's Morning News, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast. We update it every day with every segment, every interview, and every bit we do on the show. Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
I am jazzed as hell.
You can do it .com too. .com. I'm .comming right now.
It's about 110 degrees in this room. Nice job with the air conditioning, whoever.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Bullseye!
Subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast wherever you get your podcasts or listen live on WTMJ.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you the farm supplies you need because we get you. And with June being Dairy Month, we have great prices on dairy products to keep cows and calves happy and healthy. Like 50-pound Champion's Choice white salt blocks, just $6.99. Guardian Premium Flake Pine Shavings, buy 5, get 1 free for rewards members. And clean up with a 6-gallon DeWalt wet or dry vac, only $79.99. We get you the farm supplies you need because we get you at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. We're all living longer. That means in all of our families, people are facing Alzheimer's, dementia, and other memory-related issues. Azura specializes in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They're Wisconsin-based, 14 in our state, 4 in our area. I've been in their buildings. They're fantastic. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, empathy and compassion at the core. It's Azura.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Many people with unique homes reach out to Pella because our team of experts can customize windows and doors that match architecture from any era.
I love that I have a home that's 100 years old. It's a historic district, and we didn't want to ruin the look by having modern windows in an older home. When I found out that Pella had an architecturally accurate product line, they simply guided us and helped us to make a great decision for our home.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 48 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Certain restrictions apply in 6/30/2024.
You're listening to Brewers Extra Innings, presented by Fifth Third Bank on WTMJ.
Welcome back. I'm Dom Catronio. So, I'm sorry, Craig, because I'm a little distracted right now. We're getting word from both clubhouses right now about the Tommy Pham play and about the William Contreras reaction and everything that goes with me. This will be the last thing we talk about with this game, at least with each other. Here's the quote from Tommy Pham. You know, he outlined exactly what we talked about. Hey, hard play, no big deal. It's what you do. Like, team's on a losing streak, no big deal. Quote from Tommy Pham. There's a reason I do all kinds of fighting in the offseason because I'm prepared to bleep somebody up. Said that on the record to the reporters today in the clubhouse. William Contreras, meanwhile, said, yeah, I didn't even notice. I just ran back to the dugout. Big moment for us, moved on. I mean, I'm like, okay, Tommy, I get it. You're an intense dude. Cool. I just don't have a reaction. I just laughed at that quote.
I have no idea what he's even thinking. The guy's been around too long to think, and look who he's playing for right now. I mean, I could say this, Dom, nobody even wanted this guy until the White Sox claimed him after the season began, and go figure, right? He was part of a World Series champion a year ago. That's just crazy. But, I mean, here's the thing. That I don't know. Do you want to go into this or not? Because
not really. Because I mean,
it
was
me up a little bit. That's ridiculous.
I think
I don't want to go into it.
Me neither. Because I mean, he had some adrenaline. It's fine. And I said it earlier on the first segment. I broke down that play before you joined. I just said, look, it was a hard play. William made the play. Tommy Pham got thrown out, trying to do something for his team that's on a 10-game losing streak. Tommy just kind of snapped. Like it's hard to lose every single day when you were literally in the World Series last year. It's hard. And he snapped. That's fine. I'm not going to hold that against him. That's no big deal. And we'll all laugh about this later on in the season.
Yes, let's hope so anyway. Look, I mean, the guy was in it's just crazy that the path that he took to home plate, for starters, that he was in the infield grass coming in and intentionally went into Contreras. I think the other thing quite possibly that he was trying to do there as well is maybe hope the ball hit him on the path in from Yelich, and that would also score him. So, I mean, look, whatever he was trying to do there and it didn't work out, take it like a man, get up and go to your dugout. Yeah, you're out by a mile.
Yeah, I agree. So let's talk about the Phillies here. Okay, the Phillies, great record. They have they're on Sunday Night Baseball tonight. They're at home, so no big deal there. The Phillies have the best record in baseball at 41-18. The thing, though, that jumps out to me about the Phillies, and I'm not trying to disparage the Phillies, they have played six games against a team above 500. This is arguably going to be the best team that they have faced this season. So they see this as a litmus test just as much as the Brewers do. And the Brewers, they're seeing their best. They're seeing Wheeler, they're seeing Sanchez, and then they're seeing Nola. So if you can somehow steal 2 out of 3 against that lineup and that rotation, that really sends a message to the rest of the National League.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really looking forward to this series because nobody's talking about the Brewers. That's just fact. Nobody's talking about Milwaukee. They'll barely be talking about the Brewers, and I'm talking about a national level here. They'll barely be talking about the Brewers even when this series gets going and while it's being played, because the Phillies they are stationed where they are in our country. We get it, and they've got some big superstars and big names, and they put together a good team, and it's all good. So I quite frankly just want to see how Milwaukee continues to play the same baseball that they've been playing all along here, no matter who it's against. But I am looking forward to see how they stack up for sure. And you're right. I mean, the fact that the Phillies have built up this best record in baseball here right now without hardly playing a lot of, power teams here will be a great test for them too. And hopefully they'll take the Brewers seriously, and maybe this is just a prelude to a postseason matchup down the road in the National League. I mean, it's going to be fun, and that's how I'm going to look at it here over the next 3 days.
And the Brewers, to add some context here, the Brewers are 10-10 against teams above 500, and they would be 20-14 if the Cubs and the Cardinals get back to 500, which is what they're currently on pace to do. They're only one game under 500 for each of them, so that can certainly get better for them. I think that this is a really big series. It's not like, oh gosh, if they lose, the series is over. And I'm not trying to hedge here. I'm just reminding you, the Phillies played for the pennant last year. Yes, they don't have Trey Turner, but you're facing Wheeler, you're facing Nola. You're going to have a hard time. And we haven't even mentioned the fact, I had a chance to catch up with Rhys Hoskins today in the clubhouse, of how much he's looking forward to going back for the first time, the emotion of that. There's going to be a standing ovation. There's going to be a break in the game. There's going to be a video tribute. There's going to be a lot on Rhys. And him and his wife, Jamie, are so excited to get back. And I think this is going to be a really cool moment for Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, too. And quite frankly, that got lost a little bit because I think a lot of talk before Reese came back on Friday off the injured list was he could potentially and seemed to be targeting that start of that Phillies series on Monday, which was going to be pretty special for sure. So I just want to make sure I'm clear on this, Dom. If he gets a video tribute tomorrow, you don't think he's going to be booed right after that? I just want to be clear on that.
I'll tell you what, he's going to get a roaring ovation. That city loves him. He did a lot for the community. He was there for some of the lean years, and he had to miss last season, obviously, because of the ACL, but he obviously was a big part of sending them to the World Series, the home run off of Strider, the bat slam, all that. They love that dude. But if he hits a bomb off of them off the bell, they are going to boo him all the way home. So yes. I am fired up to hear that.
Yeah, I've been in Philly too many times to know how that crowd and how that city handles their teams and handles their individuals. It is they have no mercy, man. You either produce or you are out. That's for sure.
And they got a really darn good team. I can't wait to watch it this week. This is going to be one of those series that when you get home from work, flip on the radio, turn on Bally, whatever you got to do. This is a series you want to be locked in on. And Craig, Sean, and I will be locked in for you here on WTMJ. Appreciate you as always, Craig, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
All right, Tom, you too.
All right, we'll be hearing from the manager, Pat Murphy, coming up next here on 620 WTMJ.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. We agree, right? Potholes stink. Now, recent weather means this could be one of the worst years yet. Johnson & Sons Paving is up to the challenge. This team has over 2 decades experience. When potholes pop up in your asphalt, Johnson & Sons Paving will patch them up or replace the whole parking lot. Take a look at johnsonsonspaving.com. Sign a parking lot paving contract before May 31st, and you might just get me out on the job site working with the crew. Find full contest details at WTMJ.com/contests.
This is Brewers Extra Innings.
Brewers Extra Innings all season long is brought to you in part by Cider, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. Trusting your family's comfort at home with Cider. And if you've got an AC unit that's more than 10 years old, well, you're in luck because you might be eligible for up to $1,500 off a brand new unit. Go to Cider, SEIDER.com. Again, that's Cider, SEIDER.com. If you've got an older AC unit, they might be able to help you out with up to $1,500 off. Brewers get the win 6-3 over the White Sox. Part of the story today, in case you missed it on Brewers warm-up, the Brewers' original lineup did not have Willy Adames and William Contreras in it. Obviously, they ended up playing in the game. How did that happen? That's part of Pat Murphy's scrum with the media today.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. You know, I decided that this was a good day to give them a day off. And when they got word of that, they were really upset. They didn't want the day off. And we had a conversation. I let him go out of the room and think about it. Came back, called him back in, said, "You're in." That's the entire truth. It's exactly how it happened.
You gotta love that, Mark, because their presence, I mean, we know what Willie has done for Churio, for example, what William does for your pitchers.
Okay. You love it. They want to play. Savages, you know, they want to play. We're looking out for their health, though, at some point. You know, you guys have all noted, like, no catcher catches this much, you know. But if that kid didn't make an incredible play on his home run, then, we're sitting there saying, boy, he didn't need a day.
He still hit the ball hard 3 times. I think William did, or maybe 4.
Yeah. Damas got a big hit. Played short.
What about the work of your bullpen today? It seemed like you were just trying to stay away from certain guys that have pitched a lot of high leverage.
Right. Herget was unbelievable. He was sensational, and really proud of him. He's joined our team a couple times now, and sometimes sits here and doesn't get the pitch, and then other times he's gotten mop up. But to do that, and Paredes, I believe you guys would know this because you're on top of most everything. It's the truth.
That is true.
8 different guys. I wouldn't lie to you.
What did a homestand like this say about your team? I mean, obviously, what did a homestand like this say about your ball club? I mean, the Cubs had a chance to take over first if they played well. You didn't let the White Sox come up for any breath on this 11-game losing streak. I mean, what does this 6-1 homestand say about your team?
Yeah, man, I think it's good things. We're under construction. We're work in progress for sure. Look at the number of pitchers that have saved a game. Look at the number of pitchers that have started a game. We're a work in progress. Guys are getting comfortable in their roles, and we've battled some injuries and gotten through it for the most part. And we'll battle again. I mean, we're set up now to understand how the season's going to be. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a struggle. Whoever we're playing, it's going to be a struggle.
Not the start that you want to see, at least the start to the start from Peralta, but what he did after that, I mean, that's kind of what you expect out of a top rotation guy.
Yeah, I mean, Freddie was actually, just a little bit off in the first inning, kind of coming off the ball, it seemed like. I didn't, you're watching it live, you don't get the benefit of the video or whatever, but it just didn't seem like he wasn't behind the ball was taking off a little for him. He's still effective, and, gave up the 2 runs and shut it down from there, made some big pitches in the first inning, and then made some big pitches thereafter. I mean, that's more pitches than I'd like to see him throw in 5 innings, but, it's a good start by him, I feel like. Especially when you don't have your best stuff, but you figure out how to get through it. And those are major league hitters over there. You can say what you want about their record or whatever, but they're right there to beat us twice. So shows you how unimportant looking at the record is when you're playing a major league game. It's tough to win a major league game. That's why you got to stay focused on that night. But we were light in the pen today. We were hoping to be light, hoping to not have to use a bunch of guys. And Hergen and Paredes picked us up.
Every time that we've talked about Gary, it's always been about the power left, but he came up with that insurance hit in the 8th there, and it was just a single up the middle. What did you see from him in that?
Yes, I mean, sneaky Gary's just he's a really good Major League Baseball player. You know what I mean? Like he plays an important position, and he's a real hitter. Like he understands who he is, and he's going to get hits like that. He doesn't panic with 2 strikes. He doesn't, he just gets it. And you can see his experience, and guys can learn from him. Like he's a guy that has provided a lot for us this year, and his number of plate appearances and what he's done has been pretty impressive.
Very impressive. I love what we've seen from this lineup, and even from the bullpen today. Paredes is awesome. Again, I've said it before. Paredes and I go back to Double-A together, and back when he was a starter in the Astros organization in 2019, and a lot of scouts had asked me about him, and like, do you think he can be a reliever one day? I say, absolutely. He has emotion. He pitches with a flair. I mean, go back and watch the play that we've been talking about with Tommy Pham and William Contreras. Anoli's right behind William backing up the play, just screaming his lungs out. It was awesome. And then he got his first big league save tonight, so that was really, really cool. Highlights, how about that? That's coming up next here on 620 WTMJ.
Coming up, more Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Is your business looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for 165 years and for the last 15 here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help navigate the complexities of a constantly changing business market environment. With your business in mind, commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
When you come to our showroom, you'll find more than a dozen glass shower door displays. Now that's what you're going to want to see, because browsing a bunch of options usually spurs ideas that you've never even thought of. And when you walk around with one of our glass shower door experts, you can ask questions and get assurance. We're here to help. And after nearly 50 years in the glass shower door business, there's not a whole lot we haven't seen. So don't worry, your project's about to be put in the very best of hands. At Les's Glass Service, you can count on our experience that makes it easy to promise top-flight installation. Glass shower doors are our specialty, and we're out there humping it every day to add to our portfolio to make the next project even better than the last. This is Stacy Sinks. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and near home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from Three Pillars resident Lola.
When I was new, I come in and sit down, and people join me. And you get to know people, talk about feeling welcome. Art class is first early in the morning. Right now, I'm also involved in being a production assistant with a theater group. Every month, they have a supper club with a different theme. First one that I went to, they had a luau. I am so lucky to have ended up in this place, and I think it's one of the best things that ever happened to me.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Even when you get a great price, diamonds cost a lot of money.
But we want you to be able to buy the engagement ring you really want.
You won't have to settle for anything less than fantastic when you come to Kessler's.
We do everything in our power to make it possible for you to give her that magical engagement ring you really want her to have.
Friendly financing makes it possible.
We can give you 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit.
And with approved credit, we can give you 36 months to pay with just 9.99%.
And if getting your credit approved is a problem, we've even got second chance financing for people who deserve a second chance.
Don't settle for second best. Come to Kessler's.
Seriously, we do everything in our power to make it possible for you to give her that magical engagement ring you really want her to have.
That's the sort of thing you can expect from us when you hear us say, "Welcome to Kessler's."
Welcome to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com. And one more thing. Welcome to Kessler's.
Ready for this?
Get up!
This?
Get up!
And this?
Get out of here! Go!
Time for tonight's highlights. Here's Dominic Catronio.
All right, Gravy Day. Brewers going for a sweep against the White Sox and trying to hand them their 11th consecutive loss. Freddie Peralta and Nick Nastrini, the starting pitching matchup. It was not Freddie's sharpest start. He needed 43 pitches to get through the first inning. He allowed 2 runs on 3 singles and a walk, but he would lock it in from there. The 43 pitches, though, would hamstring the rest of his outing. Brewers already down 2-0 early in this one, and a 2-out rally would form in the second. A single by Joey Ortiz. It was the first hit of the game for the Brewers. Next up with 2 strikes, Jake Bauers.
3-2 delivery. Ortiz runs, swinging a liner to right in the corner. He's set. Extra bases for Bauers. Here comes Ortiz. He's going to score, and the Crew is on the board.
Just like that, Bob Uecker on the call. They weren't done in the inning. The next batter, Gary Sanchez, was hit by the first pitch he saw. So 2 men on, 2 men out for Jackson Churio.
And the pitch. Hit in the air to left and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Jackson Churio. And the Brewers get 3.
Bob Uecker's call for Churio. That snapped a streak of 0 for his last 21 with runners in scoring position. And you blink and the Brewers use a 2-out rally to take a 4-2 lead. However, Paul DeYoung would hit a home run off of Freddie in the 4th inning. That would be not only the last run allowed by Freddie, but the last hit. The only hit he had allowed outside of that 1st inning today. He settled things down to complete 5 innings on 97 pitches. The middle innings, the Brewers' offense also went quiet again. We picked things up, though, in the top of the 8th. The Brewers' bullpen, Kevin Herget was great, but then he came back out for a 3rd frame. He walked the first 2 batters he faced. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. They go to Enoli Paredes. Enoli's first pitch was popped out of the mitt of William Contreras. Pinch runner Zach Remillard got greedy.
4 appearances, nothing. Squaring to bunt, pulling it back. Ball gets away from Contreras, trying to get the 3rd. Here's the throw, and it is in time. Oh my goodness, what a mistake from Remillard, who just got brought into the ball game.
He was out there to run, and he runs himself into an out. So Lopez, though, goes from bunting to swinging, and he rips a ground rule double to right center field. That might have saved the Brewers, because if that ball hits the wall, Pham would have had a chance to score from first. Instead, he has to stop at 3rd. So 1 out, runners on 2nd and 3rd, and Corey Julks the batter.
Infield's up, pitch swung on, popped up. Left field, Yelich is coming in. Tagging at 3rd is Pham. Here's the catch from Yelich. The throw to the plates all the way through. The tag, got him at home! Wow! From the outhouse to the penthouse. And the Brewers end up allowing nothing.
It only took 3 pitches for Enoli to escape that jam, thanks to the caught stealing and thanks to the double play. We've already talked about the extracurriculars with Tommy Pham. William Contreras just ran back to the dugout, no big deal. But the Brewers were still only up by a run. They needed some insurance. Well, it was the 8th inning, so who are you going to call? Gary Sanchez.
Here comes Brevia. Line drive, shallow center, down, base hit, 2 runs will score. Ortiz stops at 3rd. Sanchez with 2 strikes delivers again for Milwaukee.
3 hits in the inning, including a walk, and Gary with 2 outs and 2 strikes got the job done to make it 6-3, which was the final score. Enoli Paredes shut things down in the 9th. A 2-inning save, his first ever big league save. Freddie earned the win, and it's a sweep over the White Sox and a happy flight on to Philadelphia. We'll give you that schedule coming up next here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch.
Go to a place of safety now. A tornado warning is in effect.
The danger in the thunderstorm alone is definitely there. We have wind gusts where it's 50 miles per hour and lots of lightning in this storm system.
Keeping you updated on the weather so you can keep you and your family safe with severe weather coverage on WTMJ. Sponsored by Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
Brewers 5-County Fridays are now Wisconsin First Fridays. Get half-price Brewers tickets for the entire state of Wisconsin at the First Friday Brewers home game every month. Come cheer on the Brewers from any corner of the Badger State and get 50% off your seats. Take advantage of this special offer and don't miss out on Friday night baseball all season. Check out the complete Brewers schedule of Wisconsin First Fridays and get your tickets now at brewers.com/Wisconsin Fridays.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Yet another strong storm rolled through Oak Creek and South Milwaukee, causing actual damage at my house. Thankfully, I knew exactly what to do. I called my friends Jeff and Jake at Loyal Family Renovations, and Jeff came by to assess the damage. If your home has suffered storm damage, don't leave it up to the out-of-towners. Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today for a free damage inspection, and they'll help make your home remodeling dreams a reality. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
Whether you're an active or passively active home shopper, our agents want you to be completely up to date with what's out there and what's brand new to the market. With our instant emailed MLS updates, you'll never miss out on what could be the home of your dreams. All you have to do is call and tell us where to search, give us a price range, and soon you'll be totally in tune with your desired real estate market. Remember, MLS searches show you everything. Some of the other real estate sites don't. So call Benefit Realty today, where you'll pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com. 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission. You can't find a lower rate of commission, and you won't be able to find better knowledge, service, and real estate expertise than you'll find with our agents at Benefit Realty. Because I know that's what you expect. Now, I'm not sure you'll be able to find the highest caliber of agents everywhere, but I can promise that's what you'll get here. So choose Benefit Realty to exceed your expectations, and you'll pay less for more. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All right, here's what's ahead here for the Brewers. They go back on the road for 6 games in 7 days. We've talked about the Philly series plenty so far to this point. 5:05 coverage, 5:40 first pitch tomorrow night and Tuesday night. And then on Wednesday, a 2:30 coverage and a 3:05 Central Time first pitch. I've got Brewers Extra Innings tomorrow and Wednesday. We have another show for you Tuesday, but that'll be Greg Matzik. Now, this week starts my travels. If you listened last season or even 2 seasons ago, you know that starting about this time each year, there'll be select Tuesdays that I have to miss because of my on assignment with TBS. I also serve as the researcher and statistician for national broadcasts with TBS, and I'll be in New York City, but I'll be watching from afar just like you and keeping track of the game. So I will have the post-game show for you tomorrow. Greg Matzik will have the post-game show on Tuesday, and I'll be back on Wednesday as we have 3 really big games coming up for the Phillies. And on Thursday, don't fret, it's not a full off day for me. I've got Brewers Weekly that night. That will be at 8 o'clock on Thursday. And then on Friday, on the road against Detroit, it'll be a same thing, 5:40 first pitch on Friday night, a 5:05 airtime. Brewers Extra Innings after that. Saturday is an afternoon game, 2:35 coverage, but I've got a 2 o'clock Brewers warm-up on Saturday, 3:10 first pitch on Saturday, and then on Sunday, a 12:05 airtime for a 12:35 first pitch. So I hope you join us this week here as the Brewers get ready for a Philly-Detroit pairing on this road trip. Quick look around Major League Baseball's out-of-town scoreboard as we say so long. The Reds win the series over the Cubs. Reds win 5-2 over the Cubs today. Even after all the rain delay yesterday, the Cubs won that one. Cincinnati's starting to show signs of life again. They win 5-2. They're still 7 games under 500, but now the Cubs fall to 2 games under 500. Vibes are not good on the north side right now. Elsewhere, the Cardinals and Phillies are on Sunday Night Baseball tonight. That game doesn't start until 6:10 Central Time over with our friends on ESPN. And then also other games that have gone final today as they pertain to the National League. The Royals beat the Padres by a 4-3 final. That was a game that featured the starters of Cole Reagans, who got 6 more strikeouts and 6 strong innings of work against Michael King, who was great. 7 innings, only 1 run allowed. But the Padres bullpen, Yuki Matsui, is the one who had the blown save late in that contest. 10 hits as well for the Padres, a walk-off sac fly by Nick Lofton in that game. Elsewhere here in the National League, the Braves got the finale over the A's 3-1 after the A's beat up on Chris Sale yesterday. The Diamondbacks also beat the Mets. They win that series 5-4 in Queens, spoiling Darryl Strawberry's jersey retirement weekend for the Mets. Also a final just went in extra innings for the Tigers, 8-4 over the Boston Red Sox. Real quick, remember, it is Lou Gehrig Day today as we try to create research and funds and chance to, find a way to eradicate this terrible, terrible disease. And somebody in my world, Sarah Langs does the absolute gold standard of research for live baseball on television. And Sarah Langs, unfortunately, was diagnosed with ALS a couple of years ago. She continues to fight. She continues to create content and do her job. And with her tagline, baseball is the best. Reminder, just put a smile on your face when you're watching baseball. It is the best game. So I'm thinking about Sarah and everybody that has fought ALS in their lives. We hope we can end it one day. My thanks to our producer, Evan Wittallison, and to Craig Kashan. I'm Dom Catronio. Keep on swinging.
Hey, WTMJ's Sean Mercure here. It was time to paint the outside of our house, and I was overwhelmed. I really wasn't looking forward to it. Thank goodness I got in touch with CertaPro Painters, each business independently owned and operated right here in Wisconsin. They made it easy. They were quick. They were efficient. They were friendly and fun. It's CertaPro Painters. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's